It's Mermaid Monique introducing your morning mermaid motivations this week. This week, our affirmation is I delight in the sensual experience of life. We are pairing our affirmation with Mad Hatter's Tea Party Tea from Tea Leaves. It is one of my favorites, and I was just thinking, when I'm thinking about delighting in the sensual experience of something, this tea is definitely something I enjoy. Both the taste and the aroma of. It was a gift from my fisherman. It is a strong black tea with vanilla, passion fruit, and other fruity flavors. I do like this one, which is a little bit of sugar and milk, which I already have in my cup. We're gonna pour this up because it's been brewing carefully because my crown. You see how nice and black that tea is. So, when I say I delight in the sensual experience of life, I feel like we have this culture that automatically turns sensuality into sexuality. But we all have these 5 fabulous senses, right? We can see, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, we can touch. And in any given moment, we can savor our senses. I can sit here and talk to you, or I can kind of casually enjoy how my scales feel under my hand. Like I can take note of that texture. I can smell the tea as it's cooling and build anticipation for what it's going to taste like. I can even kind of feel, in an emotional level, the warmth of the connection we have now. Modern life kind of, I don't know, we're like so productivity driven and so go, go, go that I think we forget to metaphorically stop and smell the roses. And that can be literal for some of us. I was running an errand and I was like, oh wow, it smells like spring. All these flowers are in bloom. And I can't, I guess I can identify the scent of a rose. I guess lavender. But beyond that, I can't tell you, a magnolia from a tulip from whatever. I just know, it smells nice. And oh, is that the breeze on my cheek? We have the opportunity in any given moment to let our senses activate. I think it grounds us. It makes us more mindful. We've talked before about life not being this, huge novel. Rather, it's, it can be a collection of poems, and allowing yourself to delight in your senses allows you to take advantage of the poetry of life. Any given moment, you can be aware of how am I feeling? What am I tasting? Is it just like, oh, I got to eat this real quick before I go back to work, which I'm guilty of? Or are you really enjoying the flavors and the textures of your food? I can hear birds in the background. I don't know if it's going to translate through the mic, but I can hear that now. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful spring day. I think earlier humans who spent more time together, who did, kind of whistle while they worked, I think our ancestors knew what an incredible and sensual experience life is. But somewhere along the way, we have just hustle bustled our way out of kind of our favorite elements of our humanity. And so this week, we want to just think about rolling back and paying attention. Again, in any given moment, what can I see? What can I hear? Where is the beauty in this? We've talked before in one of our Joy Snack episodes about how once I saw it was a gross puddle. It was like a pothole, and it had rained, and then there was pollen in it. And I am in the DC area, and we have so much pollen. It gets very, very overbearing. Even if you don't have allergies, it's overwhelming. I think y'all saw in one of my videos, it looked like it was raining, but it was just pollen, pollen, pollen. So as much as I love the flowers, the pollen is a lot. And so, a pothole with like dirty water, and then pollen on top of it, I feel like objectively, all of those things were kind of gross. But the pattern of the pollen swirling in the water was kind of beautiful and poetic. And so, even in something that's a little gross, you can find beauty and wonder and magic if you're being mindful. So again, this is Mad Hatter's Tea Party, one of my favorite teas. I don't drink it that much because it's so strong and I will get like super caffeinated and be like, shoo. Also savor it because again, it was a gift from my fisherman and I never looked up where I could get more. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to get more. And so it's one of those things where it's like, you want to save it a little bit, but it's got like a little bit of like a berry aroma, I guess, with like the passion fruit. But then the vanilla is very like warm. It's really tasty. It's definitely one of my favorites. So this week, as you're traveling through your life, just start taking notes, feel how the lotion feels on your skin, smell your shampoo. Like all of our things that we have to do generally have sensual elements because we're always here feeling things. Take note of how your sheets feel when you make the bed. Pay attention to how, not just how soft your cat feels in your hands, but feel them, the warmth of them, and that purr. That's such a lovely vibrating feeling. um Savor your food. Have a wonderful week. We'll be checking in all week. I love you much. Boop, 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 boop.